Happy birthday, Taurus! Woohoo! It is your season. I have a reading for you for the month of May. So far, astrology-wise, Sun is in your sign, Mercury is in your sign, Venus is in your sign, Uranus is in your sign, and as we're speaking, the Midheaven is also in your sign also. So that's an awful lot of grounded, sensual, earthy love energy. The sun being in your sign is very much all about, it's about piety in a sense. It's spiritual evolution. It's the wise, it's the wisdom. It's heading straight to being the leader of humanity, you know what I mean? Peaceful resolutions. Mercury in Taurus, assert yourself, Taurus, speak. Venus in Taurus, sensual, real, tactile love. And with Uranus in Taurus also, it's been about breaking down conventions and changing things up. What have I got for you, Taurus? I've got the Five of Swords and I've got the Eight of Wands. So it seems as if you're moving quite swiftly on from conflict, something that's been quite traumatic. You've won the battle, the trial's definitely over. It just seems as if there's a bit more communication that's been needed to take place. Listen, Taurus, you've been through something that's been quite difficult, and it would really serve you to catch your breath. I think use the month of May not only to be on top of your communication, but to really make sure that your energy is recovered from this rather traumatic battle. Could be in regards to a marriage. It seems as if you've been in a situation where you and your partner, or you've been with the wrong partner, or you've just gone through a really difficult phase where there's been a lot of conflict, I think Uranus in your sign's probably got something to do with it. I would really focus on making sure that the communication is really upfront and honest. Two of Wands also, it just seems as if what was, what is, has no longer got its charm or spark for you. High Priestess, there's even an energy of you wanting to like get into your own energy, just kind of stay away from whatever it is that's been troubling and plaguing you. It might even mean that this is the beginning of a new direction for you, Taurus, where you're taking a look more at the internals and the traumas and just seeing where it is that you could really like learn and study yourself a little bit more. And I wonder if this month, with the sun being in your sign, it might even be about your personal evolution, going from what was quite conflict ridden, quite difficult, quite heavy, to seeing where you can change up the communication just by looking at your own traumas, looking at the things that are no longer serving you, seeing where it is that you might need to stand up for yourself a little bit, Taurus. You've got to speak. With Mercury in your sign, you've got to speak really assertively. Foot down. You know what I mean? It's very, this is the way, and this is how it's got to be done, and everything that is not in alignment with that doesn't necessarily fit. In regards to a marriage, I just feel like conventions are changing up. People have changed, you've changed, and it's up to you now to decide the direction of this. Do you go from being still very heavily involved in this conflict energy, or do you actually take a moment to pause and separate yourself from it and just actually see how you've got the whole world in your hands? And right now, whatever you choose to do with this energy could mean the difference between you actually studying and progressing forward into a direction that is actually going to be worth your while. There's a lot that you've learned from these triggers and this conflict, and it's about time you put that into action, put it to practice, Taurus. A lot of lessons that would have been around you at the moment, I just feel like all of this energy in your sign is really prompting you to make a decision to move forward where you may have been stuck and stagnant, where you might have been deciding to sit and stay put in a direction that might have even felt like imprisonment. You know, it's there's an air of oppression here, but it is asking you to fight. It's asking you to, like, you know, don't back down right now, Taurus. This is not the time to back down. This might even be the time where you actually finally take the courageous steps you need to do to move in a direction that might feel a little bit different and outside of a comfort zone. But you know what, at the end of the day, I feel like it will just really, really, really mean that you're ability to study yourself, your ability to learn yourself, your ability to overcome a lot of these traumatic things that have been triggering you. And I do think it's because of the people that you've had around you. I don't think that they've necessarily been conducive to you feeling comfortable. And here you are, Two of Swords, very much with your defenses about you and really quite ready to pounce if you need to. Thing here is, Taurus, there's no point in you being on your defenses without you taking a minute to just go back and really recline within yourself to see what it is that is still a traumatic thing within you that really, really, really needs your attention, you to study, you to like really apply yourself with wisdom and intuition. Okay, do not avoid what needs healing, Taurus. Use this month with the sun in your sign, with Venus in your sign, with Mercury in your sign, with Uranus in your sign, with the midhaven in your sign. And that's not going to be there for long, I know, but it's just by the time you see this, you're given this opportunity to really come out of a defensive, argumentative, conflict-ridden place and see what it is that you can do to really progress forward. And the way to progress forward is love. It's self-study. It's application of maturity. There's a need for you to put down your defenses. The fight does not need to go forward. You either need to see what you can do to better manage it and better handle it, or you decide to completely walk away and move in a completely new direction. Two of Wands, something hasn't been satiating for the longest time, and if it's in regards to this marriage, you've got to get off of your defenses and actually study what it is that's truly going on. What are these triggers? What is it, Taurus? There's a need for you to actually really apply some sort of extraordinary effort. Eight of Wands is really going for it, you know, the communication. If you've been waiting to hear from someone in regards to post-breakup, I would really say it never served you. There's no point in looking back. If anything, look within. Look within, Taurus. The time is really to look within. I think something that felt like marriage, felt like it was something that you wanted forever, has just ended up being quite burdensome and problematic. And your defenses are up, and you're not satiated where you're at, and you're kind of like overcoming this real conflict-ridden energy when you're being asked right now to see where it is and what it is you can do to release yourself from this Eight of Wands. Very paranoid place to be, I guess. Stuck in a rut, Moon card. What's hidden, Taurus? What have you been hiding? What is it that you can do to really step out of the illusionment? Try and be less disillusioned, you know? There's been some sort of deception and error that's been taking place, and I just wonder if it's you cheating yourself out of a really good life experience by persisting to stay stuck in a really just, you know, it's a prison of your own making, Taurus, and the burdens will seem heavier and heavier if you're looking at it from this point of view. There is a need for you to step out of this really defensive energy, like the blindfold's on but the defenses are fully up, and it's like, if you really choose to take the blindfold off, just take the blindfold off, Taurus, and see the situation from what it is, you'll understand that the conflict has been way too harsh. The conflict might be rounding up. It's coming to the end of a cycle, Taurus, and it is time for you to detach yourself from the conflict energy, and there needs to be a lot of soul healing post this real high voltage energy of just sheer conflict. And whatever communication comes forward now, if it is in regards to moving towards this Four of Wands, it's got to come from a healed place. And if you're not applying the love post all this trauma, post all this like real high aggravation energy, if you're not giving yourself the chance or the moment to just heal for a second, High Priestess, really like looking at the severity of the situation and really applying the wisdom and intuition. There's no mystery here. It's been really tough. There's been a lot of energy searing through your sign, and now the sun is here to heal you, to heal your ego, to heal this loss. Just don't be stolen from. Aurically, I feel like there's a lot of holes, Taurus. Aurically, I feel like there's some work that needs to be done. For me, it's just screaming out unhealed traumas. Unhealed traumas, which is why you've been triggered. Listen, if you're going to go forth into an energy of trying to manifest perfect love, try to manifest a perfect communion, it's not going to happen without the intent focus on the self happening first. So pull back, take the blindfold off, step out of the prison of your own making, wriggle out of those ropes, get out of this muddy, dark terrain you've put yourself out in the cold for way too long, Taurus. Break down one by one all of these burdens. You're nearly coming to the end of a journey. It's a good idea for you to stop seeing yourself as less than. You're actually in a really good position because it's like you've got more. Whatever these wands are, they're responsibilities for sure, but it's a place of privilege. Having those wands is a place of privilege. Having all these burdens that you're going through right now, marriage, home, work, it is ultimately being privileged enough to be in a position to be able to have those things. So better manage your energy. The paranoia needs to be worked on. Okay? The feeling of oppression and imprisonment needs to be worked on. Okay? There's no ruin here. There's nothing that's crumbling. There is only an ask for you to really take a good look at why your defenses are up so high and why there is such a need to be so difficult on yourself, especially when it comes to your mental. Wisdom. Use your better judgment. Take the masks off, right? Stop avoiding what needs to be stop avoiding what needs to happen at this point. And judging by these lower cards, that's a lot of trauma healing. There is a real need to step outside of the defensive. There is a real need for you to take those blindfolds off and readjust that perspective, because whether it might not seem like it right now, but you really are in a position of privilege. Those ones are privilege. And the moon card is indicating that there are things that you might need to just kind of really take a good look at, Taurus. Once and for all, decide for yourself. Is it worth being part of something quite toxic and quite conflict heavy, conflict ridden, if it's only ultimately going to end up with you feeling imprisoned? Or is it really time for you to set yourself free and move on from deception, move on from here, move on from error, okay? Identify that there has been stuff that's been going on that has been all about deception and error, and you decide whether you want to continue with this disunion or you are going to actually do the healing work, look at the traumas, approach the situation with a bit of self-love. Venus in Taurus is all about the self-love. Pamper yourself, take care of yourself. Mercury in Taurus is about having the very assertive conversations. What needs to be said? What is factual? What can be comprehended as beneficial? Action must be taken, Taurus. Let's get one last card for the sign of Taurus for their birthday month, the month of May. All you early Taurians, happy birthday to you also. Let's get one card for a resolution for the sign of Taurus. Give me a card for a resolution for the sign of Taurus. The Knight of Pentacles. You need to slow all the way down. This was also at the bottom of the deck before I was about to shuffle. It is the Death card. So the Knight of Pentacles and the Death card. Listen, Taurus, surrender and set yourself free. Whatever's coming to a natural end and a natural death, let it. Whatever needs to be reborn, give yourself the opportunity to get into the energy of being reborn. The best way to do that is to get back to basics. Slow all the way down. Slow all the way down. Take a look at what your responsibilities are, what you're actually liable for doing, and what it is on you that you're supposed to be doing. And a lot of self-care and taking care of those finances, taking care of what it is that needs to be reborn and rebirthed within you, and paying attention to what natural deaths have come around you. This could be deaths of relationships, pairings, partnerships, jobs, study, whatever. That's entirely your story. There needs to be some sort of rebirth. Take the masks off. Take a look at the situation. Get out of the very highly defensive energy, Taurus, and step a little bit more into this. Very organized, very sure of his footing, very stable, very secure, and very on board and alert and ready ready to get on with it. Okay, Taurus? If you'd like to book a reading, visit www.rubyreadstarot.com. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, a like, and share. And don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you guys are watching from and if the video resonated with you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I shall catch you again soon. Take care, Taurus. Happy birthday! Woo!